Hello everyone and welcome to the IDNI August video update. You're here with me, Fala, and my colleagues. We're going to kick it off with Karim giving you an overview of what happened this month.
Okay, thank you, Fala. August has been a very busy and productive month for us. The one major event was the release of the white paper. It was a major effort by Ahat and Professor Carmi, who helped edit the paper. We all chipped in, but it was mostly Ahat and Carmi. I encourage everybody to read the white paper because it's going to guide our development efforts for the next, foreseeable future, basically. I was going to say just 2 years, but probably longer than that. So the release of the white paper, very important milestone for IDNI. Please read it. And any questions, shoot them off regarding the white paper. On the development side, development is proceeding well on two major fronts. The one front is the Agoras Live website. We're adding some major features to it. There's only two major features missing, and we're working on those. Probably will be an ongoing effort, some of those. On the TML side, we've identified 10 major tasks that need to be completed before the end of or before the next release. And three of them are optimization features, which are very important to the speed and performance of TML. So, but in terms of time requirements, we feel very good that we'll be able to stay on schedule before the end of this year. And to that end, we're bringing in two extra resources to help us get there as soon as possible. So that's it for me, Fola.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Karim. I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to pass it over to Umar for his updates this month.
Hi, everyone. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been working on changes in the string relation, especially moving from binary string representation to unary string. So the idea here is that now you will have, rather than two arguments in the terms, you will have a single argument for the string, and the arity changes from 2 to 1, and that has an effect on the speed and on the storage. So the first few numbers that we calculated showed that we have around 10%. We have 10% faster than the changes that we had with the binary string. That's not still the best, but we're slightly better than what we had before. And well, when we make these changes, we have effect on the way we check the length of the string, the way we do equality of the matching of the substrings within the string, and so on. So there are some changes that need to be made there. So I'm working on those changes currently. So that's it from my side.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Umar. I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to send it over to Tomasz for his updates this month.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So this month, I had to revise how we encode characters in order to support UTF-8 and be compatible with the internet. And it was also the last missing piece required for completing persistence. Reason is the stored data have to be portable. And if TML uses characters and strings internally in the same encoding as it stores its own data, we can map strings directly into files and gain a lot of speed by avoiding like usual allocation of memory. So the code is now pushed in the repository, so it can be tested. And yeah, that took me most of the last month. And I'm also working on some TML tutorial. So I think next, I think sooner than next update, there will be something available online. So that's all from me this month.
Very cool. I'm sure the community cannot wait to try out the TML demo. I'm going to send it over to Killian for his updates this month. Over to Killian.
Hey everybody. So this month I started off with transcribing the past month video call. So you can find it on Reddit. I've also done a lot of outreach to partner universities and research groups, as always, and especially this month because of the white paper release. I think we had quite some good responses from the universities and research groups. So we got positive replies from the Hochschule Mannheim, a German university, then University of Trier in the field of computational linguistics and digital humanities. Also the research group Artificial Intelligence and Knowledge Representation within the W3C website. They articulated strong interest in getting a discussion going, particularly because they had some misconceptions about blockchain. So yeah, I'm in discussion with them on how to get it going. They would like to have like a Q&A session with a couple of their members. But first, it's like important for us to distribute the white paper to them so they can read it and then ask respective questions. Another university or research group was the computational linguistics group of the University of Groningen in Netherlands, and also the Center for Language Technology of the University of Gothenburg, Sweden. They articulated an interest in collaborating, but also connected us to the Chalmers University of Technology, also in Sweden. Saying that they also would be interested. Then I've also done some press outreach using the white paper, trying to get related media outlets interested, but so far there hasn't been any feedback by them. Yeah, I've also discussed with Ahat and Fuller our social media strategy and been working on being more active on our channels. For Twitter, I really would like to have like a weekly schedule for posting, like a weekly posting schedule that also is based around hosting contests like smaller contests, technical ones, non-technical ones, so to engage basically all parts of the community. Yeah, also I've opened up a discussion on Discord around the topics that Ahat in the previous monthly video update, the topics that Ahat opened up basically in the previous monthly video update around the three subjects that Ahat would first like to see being discussed on Tau. So that would be first the definitions of what good and bad means and what better and worse means. Then second, the governance model over Tau. And then third, the specification of Tau itself and how to make it grow and evolve even more to suit wider audiences. So like the discussion is happening in the Discord channel, in Discord in the Tau channel. So if you're interested in like working with us together on, or like just if you're interested in getting a discussion going in these areas, definitely join our Discord and just participate in the discussion. That would be great. Yeah, I've also finished designing the bounty claiming process. So people who have done work related to bounty now can claim their reward by filling out the bounty claiming form. And yeah, I've also been working on revamping the Bitcoin Talk thread. The Bitcoin Talk thread, it's been, I think, our first real presence in a related crypto forum, like the first presence where Tao was being presented. And it's the original post in that thread is quite outdated. It has broken links and yeah, also old information. So I'm looking to use the white paper to use white paper snippets, smaller snippets of the white paper to actually yeah, revamp the original Bitcoin Talk thread post. And yeah, due to the release of the white paper, also the community got a lot more active, which is great to see. And this also made me use more of my time to support the community in Telegram, etc. So yeah, that's it for me so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Killian. I appreciate that. Really interesting to hear what you've been up to this month, and looking forward to talking to you about some of those points you mentioned in finer detail after the call. All right, so over to Moaz for his updates on the UX UI of Agoras Live.
Yeah, so this month has been really productive. We have been through a very big load of milestones that we finished. First, we have finished me and Andre the question part where people post what they want, and other, let's say, knowledge seeker knowledge provider can help them with their like missing knowledge parts. And also we have been there like first iteration, and then we made it more of like into social experience, something like Twitter. This is for the question. Also in the homepage, we try to make it more of we try to higher up the rates of the discoverability through bundling the categories and things that will let's say enrich the discoverability in the homepage. And also recently we have been through multiple iterations of the how we can approach the services in the homepage, how we can display service knowledge, and how the service seeker can let's say discover new people through the homepage. And another thing is connecting the limited static categories in the website to make it grasp more diversity to it. And we thought about that through adding tags, and so we can add like static categories and also tags so it would be more like likely to filter and for service seeker to find what they're looking for. And another thing is the onboarding. We have been working on I've been working on adding an onboarding step, so to personalize the feed or the homepage for the users, for each user. So the users will pick let's say pod categories that are interested to them, and after that they will find the homepage as more personalized to them, and they can find relatable services that they can ask for. Another thing is we added a new section in the profile, which is the services that the knowledge provider can provide. We discussed that we can add it like in a free text format, or we can add it in a tags. And I think that we reached that using tags is more suitable and more also configurable from the time of the search, and also the filtering through the search. Another thing is the search itself. How can we filter your results? As we discussed before, that anyone can search through a free text, type anything, and get results from in the results page, and he can filter the country, the language, etc. of those filtering let's say items. Also and how we can display the service knowledge or the knowledge let's say knowledge providers. How can we filter them? How can we view it for the users? This is one of the things that I've been working on. Yeah, so I think this is it for me now.
All right, thank you very much, Moaz. Now let's pass it over to Andre for a visual view of what he's been up to this month on Agoras Live. Cheers.
Hello everyone, this is the update for August. Let me show you what I've done so far with Agoras Live. Let me show you my screen. So what we have here, we redesigned the front page. It now looks much better and cleaner. What we have on the front page also, we have a work in search like this. It searches for the, you can choose what field you plan to search, etc. Then next we have redesigned the header. As you see, now it has notification icons. Let me show you how it works. For example, I want to make an appointment with Albert Einstein for tomorrow, for whatever, and here is Albert Einstein's screen. Wait a second. And as you see, it now has a yellow dot, meaning there is a new appointment waiting. So we can go from here. Next thing we did is now you can add the users to your favorites. Here is heart. You can add the user to your favorites, and it's now in your contacts. Here you can remove user from a favorite. What next? Yeah, it now randomly selects users for the front page. Also, we've implemented, I don't remember, I haven't told it yet, yes. We've implemented templates for emails. Now it sends emails like this one. Thank you for registration. Also, we have a working timer that sends the same template, but with the reminder that you have an appointment. And that's pretty much everything. What left is session list. I need to work on this, and tickets, and then the basic engine will be ready. And as Moaz said, we have a design ready for questions part, where you can add questions and subscribe to questions, and I need to implement that also. So yes, and that's pretty much everything for August. Yeah. Thank you everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Andre. Some real big updates there. Yeah, looking really, really good. I'm sure the community can't wait to try that out. I'm going to send it over to Juan for his update next to tell you what he's been working on.
So hi everybody. During this month, I basically fundamentally switched into the TML development, to the development of TML features. And this month, the feature that I have been focusing is on the first order logic support, for which I have integrated the formula parser that we have already developed for some time with the TML core functionality. With this being with this being connected, we added to TML quantify Boolean function solving capability of as in the same way that we get first order logic support. It's worth mentioning that this feature is being supported by means of the main optimized BDDs primitives that we have already in the TML engine. So we paid special attention to not get an efficient solution. Looking forward to make this scalable in terms of the formula sizes. It would be a matter of refining the current solution and reaching to proper tests to actually share with the community to show this this new milestone in proper way. So that's all by now for me, and I'm looking forward to show this this new feature with really working example, such as a demo. We are probably heading to that point soon.
Thank you very much, Juan. Fantastic update there. From my side, I have been discussing the feasibility of a token swap to an ERC20 token from the current Omni token with exchanges and just internally with the team as well. I've also, again, as Killian mentioned, been discussing the social media strategy. We do need to work on our socials, as we update with the new visual identity and the branding and all the logos. That's a good time to change all the graphics and look ready for the next iteration of our sort of look and feel. Continuing on the aspects of design and visual identity, I've been talking to quite a number of large agencies behind some of the sort of big projects in the software space, one of them being Phantom. They designed the website for DeepMind. Another one being Outcast. They work with brands such as Intel and Salesforce. We're not entirely sure if we're going to go with those guys, but it's been good to get insight into how they work and the steps that they would take into getting our project out to the wider audience. Again, that whole process has been a lot of research as well into what kind of agencies we would want to work with, who would want to get on board, what avenues we want to go down, and our sort of key goals this year and next year. And obviously with the white paper coming out, such a huge milestone in the company's history, I did a lot of reading of that paper many times. So a lot of my time was actually spent reading that this month. We've also got onto hiring, looking at hiring more manpower on the TML developer side. And also just for me as well, because I'm working on the website alongside Moaz, also hiring a front-end dev just to do the obviously the front end of the website as well, and the back end as well will be done according to Ahad's requirements that he wanted the back end to be done in. And you guys also mentioned that the Omnidex was a challenge to use, so I did speak with one of the partner exchanges for Agoras Live that also do. They essentially have a exchange in the box type service. So I've connected them with the Omni team, and hopefully they can get together and have a much more usable interface for the Omnidex soon. I'm not sure how that conversation will go, but hopefully it does work out. And yeah, that's it for me, really. Thank you. Over to Ahat for his updates this month.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. And this month, as you all know, I finished writing the white paper. But it is only the community draft. The final version will contain not only changes that will be according to the community's feedback, but also more elaboration on and more topics that were not inserted in the current paper, including about logics for law and about the full process of Tau. And as usual, I continued the research of second order logic, specifically somehow back to Boolean equations, and also analyzing the situation where the formula is in conjunctive normal form, trying to extract some information from such a form. And that's all for now. Maybe I just want to say that what Juan mentioned about first order logic, and people who already familiar with TML will see that now with this change, the easiness of using TML got much more advanced. With first order formulas, you can express ideas much more easily than with plain TML rules as before. And that's all for now.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ahat, and thank you everyone else. So we're going to put it over to the Q&A next. We have quite a few questions from all of you guys, so please stay tuned for our answers. See you soon. All right, so the first question is from me. And what is the difference between Horn second order logic and Crom second order logic?
So Horn and Crom are a special case of CNF conjunctive normal form, which I mentioned right a few minutes ago. Conjunctive normal form means that the formula has the form of end conjunction between clauses, this clause and this clause and this clause, while each clause is disjunction of atoms, is this or this or this or that. And now any formula can be written in conjunctive normal form. Any formula can be brought to this form. And Crom is the case where each clause contains exactly 2 atoms. And Horn is the case where at most 1 atom in every clause is positive. The rest are negated. That's the definition.
And this question is from Redneve, and they ask, now that the white paper has been released, how do you think it will affect the work of the developers?
Okay, excellent question, Redneve. We see the white paper as being a roadmap of development for us. So it will be essentially the vision that we're working to implement. Of course, we have to turn it into much more specific tasks, but as you saw from the detailed progress from last month, that's exactly what we're doing.
All right, and another from Redneve. I think Redneve's got quite a lot in this month. And they ask, when do you plan to deliver the new version of the website? Unfortunately, the current one does not seem to be kept up to date with the latest news, including the team and the white paper. So we've just updated the website with the white paper quite recently. So you'll be able to see the white paper there if you go to it. The new website should be launching after we get the branding done. I can't give too many specifics there, because there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of considerations to take place. We have a structural format, a form of the website, how we'd like it to look. But right now we just need to get the graphics ready, and then get the front end done. So we're not too far off in terms of the actual website look, but the branding is the most important step that we need to get done. So that's all I can give for that question. Thanks. All right, another from Redneve, and they ask, what are the next major issues that need to be resolved in order to be listed on a big US-friendly exchange? All right, so I'm glad you asked. So with the white paper released, that's probably the biggest hurdle that we needed to get over. At this point, we still need to confirm some elements of the plan with US regulators, and we do need to have some form of product available. Be that the a TML release, be that Agoras Live, whatever we have or release, that there needs to be something out for people to use. So in conjunction with the white paper and approval from US regulators, we do need to have products available to get onto the US exchanges. And another question from Redneve, and they say, does the team still need to get bigger to reach cruising speed? If so, by how much and where?
Okay. So of course, any development team would like to have as much resources as possible, but working with the resources that we have right now, we are making significant progress towards the two development goals that we have of both the Agoras Live website and the TML engine. But we are bringing in at least two more resources in the near future, and perhaps more after that if necessary, but there's no lack of work to be done, and also there's no lack of progress. So that's the answer.
Great, awesome. And Redneve has another question, and they ask, will Professor Carmi still participate in the project? And if that's the case, how?
Sure, Professor Carmi will continue coordinating with us. Right now, he is working on the mathematics of certain features in the derivative market that Agoras is planned to have, and also ongoing research in relevant logic.
And another question from Redneve, and they ask, will you translate the white paper into other languages? If so, which ones? Yes, in the future, we do expect translations of the white paper to occur in the most important languages that we currently that comprise our community. So we do expect a Chinese translation, for example. Now, what languages exactly, I can't give you right now, but the sort of most common languages that sort of comprise our community. And this question is from Redneve again, and they ask, is the roadmap on the website still correct? When will you begin to work on the next step?
Yes, as Fola mentioned earlier, we're going to be revamping the website soon, including the roadmap that will be a reflection, basically, or a summary of what's been published in the white paper. But the old version of the website is no longer up to date.
And another question by Redneve, and they ask, what requirements are needed for Agoras to have its own chain?
if the question means why don't we have, why Agoras doesn't have Agoras on-chain right now, well, there is no special reason. We just need to reach there, and we will reach there.
Another question by Redneve. Amazing. I love it. You said last month that you were using OmniLayer for processing payments. When Agoras switches to its own chain, will you have to develop a new payment system from scratch?
So no, the short question is no, we will not have to. We will have to integrate with the new payment channel, but that's something that we're planning to do anyway. We will be integrating with several exchanges and several payment channels. So we will not be a huge task. Most of the heavy lifting is in wallet and key management, which will be done on the client side, but we're already planning on having more than one payment gateway anyway. So having one more is not a problem.
All right. And this question is from Yam. And they say, when can we see Tau work with a real practical example? I would like to see something amazing, even something simple. If you can show an example of how it may feel working with Tau, I believe people will get a better understanding.
So for examples of applications of TML, we are currently working on a tutorial and a set of demos exactly for that. Two of our developers are currently working on it, and it's going to be a big part of the next release. And please wait for the next release to see those, but it's coming really soon.
And the next question is from Goopelin. And they ask, speaking in formal languages is hard. How can it be made easier? Can we have a concrete example of a multi-party conversation using formal language and Tau? Let's say a discussion over whether Bitcoin is a store of value. How would such a conversation look?
Coming up with a usable and convenient formal language is a big task, which maybe it's even safe to say that no one achieved up until today. But we solved this problem indirectly yet completely by not coming up with any language, but letting languages to be created and evolve over time through the Internet of Languages. So we don't have any solution of how to make formal languages really very easy for everyone. It will be a collaborative effort over Tau to get there and reach there over time. You can see on the white paper in this section, which section was it? Yes, about the critical mass and the Tau chain reaction.
And this next question is from Grapesode. And they ask, we talk a lot about what TML can do, but we don't talk about what TML can't do. What are some big limitations of Tau? Are these limitations solvable?
TML cannot do everything that requires more than polynomial space to be done. And there are infinitely many things like this. For example, you can look up for exp time or exp space or element, well, exp time or exp space complete problems. I would wanted to say elementary, but there is no elementary complete problem, but there are complete problems in each of the levels of elementary. All those TML cannot do because this is above polynomial space. Another drawback of TML, which comes from the usage of BDDs, is arithmetic. In particular, multiplication. Multiplication is highly inefficient in TML because of the nature of BDDs. Of course, BDDs brings so much, so many more good things that even this drawback of slow multiplication is small comparing to all the gain that this gives us. Another limitation, which I will emphasize in the next version on the white paper, is the containment problem. The containment problem is, or should I say, the satisfiability problem of a formula without a model, to ask whether a model exists, not a model checking like right now, but to ask whether a model exists. And this is undecidable already on very restricted classes, as follows from Trachtenbrot's theorem. And so in particular, the containment problem, the satisfiability problem, the validity problem are undecidable in TML as is. And for them to be decidable, I need to restrict even more the expressive power and look at narrower fragments of the language. But again, this will be emphasized in the next version of the white paper.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that next version. I'm sure everyone else is as well. It's a lot of fun to read. Okay, so this next question is from Seven Grapes. And they ask, this is quite a multi-parter to be fair. There isn't much discussion about storage and computation. If it took projects like MadeSafe and SIA years to have a mediocre project, why should Agoras be able to do something in less time? And also, what about the scalability? What do you expect are some requirements in scalability? For example, 20 transactions per second, permanent storage, temporary storage, etc. And will Tau be able to run on a phone?
This is a question for the storage expert.
Okay. So early on in the life of the Tau project, basically we've identified the computational resources marketplace as one of the possible applications of Tau. Of course, so it is very much on our roadmap. However, as you mentioned, there are some other projects. I think you did mention Filecoin is one of them as well, that is specifically focusing on the problem of storage, for example. And so even though it is on our roadmap, but we're not there yet, but we are closely watching what those guys are doing. Now, like you said, they haven't yet delivered on the promise of an open and distributed storage network. But if we feel at some point that we have some more value to bring to the project, that's something that I would very much like to see us work on. But if there are other teams that are focusing on that, we'll let them focus on it for now. So it is on a roadmap. Basically, the answer to your question, it's on our roadmap, but it's not a priority for us right now. But eventually, we will get there. So, I mean, specifically in terms of you know, what are scalability requirements? You know, that's obviously. We have not answered that question yet. But the last part of your question is interesting. Will Tau run on a phone? Definitely, yes. We're planning on addressing or being available on all computational platform, be it a server, a laptop, a phone, or an iPad, a tablet type device. Yeah, we'll be able to run on those devices.
Excellent. Awesome. And I had mentioned Karim's background being a storage expert there. And I'd advise you to look into Karim's background because he's done some excellent stuff. So this next question is from Groupie. And they say, given a vast trove of knowledge, how can Tau determine relevance? What about spam attacks and garbage data?
Yes. Tau doesn't offer any predetermined solution to this. It is basically all up to the user. The user will have to define what is spam and what is not. And of course, most users will not bother with defining this, but they will be able to automatically agree to people who already defined it and by that import their definitions. So bottom line, it's really up to the users.
And this next question is again from Redneef. And they ask, what are your top priorities for the next 3 months?
Okay, yes. So as we mentioned in the beginning of the call, our goal for this year is to release both the first version of the Agoras Live and a first version of the TML engine. So those are our top priorities. And
the next question is from IP Freely. And they say, I had mentioned the following at the start of the year. Time for us to work on Agoras. We need to create the Agoras team and commence work. We made a major improvement in one of Agoras aspects in the form of a theoretical breakthrough, but we're not ready to yet share the details publicly. Is there any further news or progress with the development of Agoras? Thank you.
Yes, if there is more progress on the development of Agoras, specifically about the new discoveries regarding derivatives market, and the answer is of course yes. Professor Carmi is now working on those inventions related to derivatives market. We still keep them secret. And of course, Agoras Live, knowledge sharing for money is coming.
Okay, that's it. So thank you, and we'll see you next month.